And with that, we begin part 6 of sound design for an audio drama. Let's start the timer. Set a timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Starting.
Oops. Okay. So, where we left off last time, we were adding some of the sound effects that people don't usually think about, the ambient sound effects, the stuff in the background. So let's get started. Let's hear what we have so far.
It was nighttime on the space station. This meant that the lights were dim and there were a few people moving about as I made my way to one of the observation decks. That way I could get another look at her. The USS Boston. She was the first of a new class of ships, designed by and primarily constructed by the citizens of Earth.
Okay, so you can immediately hear that some of the sounds are a little bit too loud, and this one kind of makes it sound like we're in a server room. So I was thinking about it, and one of the things I realized that I had missed something completely that she said, let's reword that. I had completely missed something that she had said in my sound designing it the first time. See if you can catch it. Let's play the line again. From the marker.
It was nighttime on the space station. This meant that the lights were dim and there were a few people moving about as I made my way to one of the observation decks.
Did you get it? Let's play it again.
It was nighttime on the space station.
Huh?
It was nighttime on the space station. It was nighttime on the...
Okay, you get the idea. So, in all my focus on the work that was being done on the ship, I completely forgot that it was nighttime on the space station. So, what would you think we would need for nighttime? We'd need something with maybe some crickets, some birds of night. And so I found some nighttime sound effects. Now let's see. I found one with crickets. It was actually what I used was to find it, and I chose wind with crickets. Okay, so we'll pick that up. And we'll bring that right in. Okay, so, yes, I'm aware of that. For some reason, it doesn't want to leave the sample rate alone, so it keeps adjusting it. We'll figure that out later. Anyway, this turbine sound, like I said, makes it sound like we're in a server room, so we'll get rid of that. And we'll bring in our crickets. Now, let's bring this back to 0 where we can hear them. Isn't that better? But of course this is near water, so we'll need the water. That's a little bit.
It was night.
So, naturally, we'll need to make adjustments. So, what I want to do, actually, let me give this its own track. Oop. Okay. I want it to name right after the track, so let me try this again. Yes, I know. Thank you. That's clearly it doesn't want me to do this. Okay. And okay, I'll just grab the name over here because I just don't want to type this. I know I'm being incredibly lazy. So, yes, thank you. Stop. Okay, there. So apparently every time you click away from Reaper, it will remind you that it can't do that sample rate. Okay. So now we have the tracks named appropriately, and we're going to come over here and lengthen it because the scene goes on for a while, and I think the whole time is nighttime on the space station. So to get a good ending point, let's come in here. And let's say this is where the talking stops. And we'll put another marker there. So that's marker number 2. Right? Scroll out a little quieter. So now, we'll take the cricket sound, and I've turned snapping back on. And we will snap to that marker. And then we'll take our water sound and we'll drag that out there as well.
It was nighttime on the space station. This meant that the lights were dim and there were a few people moving about as I made my way to one of the observation decks. That way I could get another look at her. The USS Boston. She was the first of a new class of ships, designed by and primarily constructed by the citizens of Earth. A beautiful shark of a vessel, designed to showcase Earth's technical know-how and to be a true presence in trans-system society.
Now what I've done is I've just duplicated this track because, as you can see here, there's a clear beginning and end to where it loops the track. And water doesn't sound like that. It doesn't have, if you're standing next to a body of water like this would be, you wouldn't have a clear beginning and end to the sound. So just a little thing to enhance the realism. And there, the cricket sound, you can see it's a straight line all the way through. You can't really tell. Yeah, I don't think you can. Let's see. Okay, it does. So we may want to duplicate the crickets as well. Let's go ahead and do that. And we'll move them over just a little bit. That way they don't stop at the same time. And now, let's play the scene again. On solo.
It was nighttime on the space station. This meant that the lights were dim and there were a few people moving about as I made my way to one of the observation decks. That way I could get another look at her. The USS Boston. She was the first of a new class of ships, designed by and primarily constructed by the citizens of Earth. A beautiful shark of a vessel, designed to showcase Earth's technical know-how and to be a true presence in trans-system society.
Now, something we can do, just like with music, pan is a very helpful tool when constructing ambiances and different sound effects to make it more realistic. So we're going to go ahead and listen to it again and do some panning.
It was nighttime on the space station. This meant that the lights were dim and there were a few people moving about as I made my way to one of the observation decks. That way I could get another look at her. The USS Boston. She was the first of a new class of ships, designed by and primarily constructed by the citizens of Earth. A beautiful shark of a vessel.
You don't want to do it too much because
designed to showcase Earth's
if you do,
technical
then it ends up being really obvious what you've done. Okay, and let's try to put the crickets. I like the crickets being center. Let's hear them again. Let's just play the crickets by themselves. They're pretty stereo already. Let's give them a little bit. 17. And right about 15. Okay. Sounds good. Very subtle.
It was nighttime on the space station. This meant that the lights were dim and there were a few people moving about as I made my way to one of the observation decks.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to create a folder, Control T for a new track, and then we're going to click this little button here, create a folder. Now what I've done is just put all these effects into a folder so that I can control them, and then it'll be much easier because we still have another layer of sound effects to add for the construction sounds, the work that they're doing on the USS Boston, and we'll do that in our next part. But for now, I've just grouped them here, and I need to give the track a name, don't I? Let's call it ambient. Well, I'll attempt to spell ambient. Ambient nature sound effects. Okay, and then you click this thing here, and they're sort of tucked out of the way, and you have this sort of ghost image of the full soundtrack. And we're all ready for next time. So thank you for watching, and invite you as usual to check out the earlier version of this, the original sound design job, if you want to call it that, and I'll have that in the cards on the end slate, and we will see you in the next video.